Yo, what's up, guys? My name is Alex. I graduated from Stanford in math and computer science, and I've made over $400,000 betting on sports since 2018 when regulated sports betting came to the US. We talk a lot about sports betting, so what I thought would be kind of fun in this video is to actually go through and place some bets based on, mathematics and make some money. So we've discussed why sports betting is so interesting, right? Is all of these books have different odds, right? So here we can see if we refresh, we're just on OddsJam on the positive EV page. So Pinnacle Sportsbook is the sharpest bookmaker in the world. And we see in the Mets-Nationals game tonight, they're only giving you plus 315 odds, right? DraftKings is giving you over 12.5 runs plus 375 odds. So bet 100, profit 375. So Pinnacle, we can see plus 315, minus 422. We can pull up that no vig fair odds calculator we've discussed in other videos. So plus 315, minus 422. According to the sharpest bookmaker in the world, Pinnacle Sportsbook, over 12.5 runs in this game should be roughly plus 335 odds with a win percentage of 22.96%. So if I go back to the plus EV page, we're getting 375 on DraftKings. So the profit margin of this bet is 9.07%. That's the expected profit margin of betting on over 12.5 runs on DraftKings. We can also see MGM has under 12.5 minus 385. So that's getting pretty close to an ARB to DraftKings. So there's clearly some value in this over 12.5 runs plus 375. So that will be the first bet we'll make. So let's just get into DraftKings real quickly. Let's go. Okay. MLB. So you got to be quick. We've talked about this, right? Sports is a financial market. These odds are always moving. So if you see a good bet, you want to try to get there quickly. So we can see over 12.5 runs plus 375. Of course, it's not verifying my location. Very common on sportsbooks. But let's pull it up and let's place a bet on it. Let's get some mathematical edge locked in, and then let's go on to the next bet. So over 12.5 runs, there was pretty good EV on that, so I'm going to bet $1,000. So it's going to review it because I'm limited. So I'm betting 1,000 at plus 375 odds. It's reviewing it. We'll see if they take it or not. And we can start to put it in here. Over 12.5 runs, Mets game. Right, we can start to put it in here and just kind of so we can track all our bets. So we put $1,000 on it, the EV percentage from OddsJam. So our expected return is 9.07%. Pinnacle, the sharpest bookmaker in the world, is only giving you plus 315. We're getting plus 375. There's some incredible value there. So 9.07%, so 0.0907. So our mathematical profit margin is just our EV percentage times our wager. So we should be earning $91 in profit over the long run. Of course, not every bet is going to win. Even this bet we saw from the no vig odds calculator, right? This bet plus 315 minus 422, according to Pinnacle, the sharpest bookmaker in the world, only has roughly a 22.96% chance of winning. But we are getting insane value with plus 375 odds. So let's see if DraftKings took it. Okay, DraftKings took it. We can see right here, bet placed over 12.5 runs, plus 375 odds, betting 1,000 to win 475. So that's pretty cool. Now, again, on OddsJam, why this is so powerful is if we just look at DraftKings, you can see how much stuff they have on their site. Like, look at these markets. This is just run lines. Right? You can't find good bets manually. These odds are always changing around. Odds are always moving around from book to book. So when these line discrepancies in amazing value spots like this over 12.5 runs plus 375, when things like this exist, they're not going to last forever, right? So having software that helps you identify these good betting opportunities is extremely helpful. So we placed this bet. So that's great, and we can kind of check out the next one, right? So there are a couple things that I like to consider when placing bets. So you can set up your settings here. The first thing you can do is set a maximum odds that you're willing to bet. So I have mine set to plus 400. You can also turn on and off player props. So we can see if I turn on player props and then I hit refresh again, it'll show me some home runs. So here we see Mitch Garver to hit a home run is plus 380 on FanDuel. Pinnacle, right? That's like massive EV. It's a direct arb to Pinnacle, which is the sharpest bookmaker in the world. So there's clearly some value on the plus 380. So if I go to the Twins game, we can find this quickly. The Twins game, player to hit a home run, Mitch Garver, plus 380, right? I can try to put $500 on it, but I'm limited, so it's going to give me 26.30. It says 26.30. So I'll place 26.30, and that can just be our second bet tracked. Mitch Garver, home run. So our wager size was 26.30. Great, thanks, FanDuel. You're the best. And what we can see is the EV of this was 0.3853%. That is an incredible line. Of course, they don't let you bet anything on it if you make money off them. But you can kind of see here that we're getting 10.13 in expected profit from just that small bet. So I've placed 2 bets. My mathematical profit margin, according to Pinnacle Sportsbook, the sharpest bookmaker in the world, is $101. And, again, you can kind of customize your settings around. You can, lower this. You can increase this. It depends how long of odds you're willing to bet. You can turn player props on or off, alternate markets on or off, whatever you want to do. So let's go back to the positive EV page, and we can kind of see other value spots. I will say, when you're searching through, looking for good value betting opportunities, you want to consider how wide the market is, right? So, for example, up here, there's clearly value on this plus 375, but Pinnacle is plus 313 over 12.5 minus 418 under 12.5. Like, that market is pretty wide, right? Whereas if you go down a bit here, we can find some other examples. Here we see Minnesota plus 14.5. Pinnacle's minus 139 on it, so there's clearly some value on this minus 113 Minnesota plus 14.5. It's a direct arb to Pinnacle, right? Pinnacle is Ohio State minus 14.5 plus 114. This is a direct arb. So this market is tighter. So what a lot of our users do on OddsJam is they'll look for these tighter markets because they think that's a better indication of the bets they want to place. Central Michigan plus 14.5 is a direct arb to Pinnacle, the sharpest bookmaker in the world. So maybe that's a good betting opportunity. And you can obviously click on these, you can click to kind of see what other markets are giving you. So we saw Minnesota plus 14.5. It's minus 126 on Bookmaker, minus 130 or minus 139 on Pinnacle. So there's clearly some value on this minus 113. So that's just something to consider when you're using the OddsJam plus EV page, is definitely consider how wide the markets are. This OddsJam column, essentially we weight the Pinnacle odds with the Bookmaker odds. Pinnacle and Bookmaker are the 2 sharpest sportsbooks in the world. So knowing their odds and always knowing where their odds are is essential if you're a sports bettor. If you want to make money sports betting mathematically, you always have to beat Pinnacle's odds and Bookmaker's odds. That's how you make money in the long run. If you are getting better odds and you're line shopping ruthlessly and comparing odds at a lot of books and always beating Pinnacle, then you're going to be a successful sports bettor. So we can kind of go down. You can look for other things, other good betting opportunities. So we'll place a few more bets. Minnesota plus 14.5. This was minus 113 odds. So that's on September 2nd. So I can go here. I can go to Minnesota. And what I wanted to bet was plus 14.5 minus 113. So I'll try to place $500 on it. And it's giving me, of course, 34.68. But this is what it's like to be limited on U.S. sportsbooks if you start making money. I'm trying to place a $500 bet, not even that much money, and they're giving me 34.68 and telling me the other 465.32 needs to go in for approval. So I'll place that, and of course a technical error occurs. Classic. Let's see if it even lets me. So it's not even letting me bet it right now. I'll try refreshing the page. Maybe that will help. But you can kind of see that, these sports books, if you start making money off them, they're going to limit you. So we'll wait for this to pull back up, and then we can try to place the bet again and see if it works. So Minnesota plus 14.5. Place bet. There we go. It let me place 34.68. So let's see. So let's try to bet it again, and let's see if they take my money. I'll try to place $500. Place bet. Send entire wager for approval. So now it's awaiting approval. So now we have to wait. This is how sportsbooks get you if you're limited, is they'll have you send your bet for approval. They determine if they want the action or they don't want the action. And my guess here is they won't want the action and they'll reject the bet. So, but we got 34.68 on it down, so we can put this in here. 34.68, how exciting. And then we can go back to the plus EV page, and we can see that that bet had a 4.52% profit margin, so 0.0452, and our mathematical profit margin is this, and this is Minnesota on 9-2 plus 14.5 minus 113 odds. And again, I encourage everybody, if you're using OddsJam, make sure that you are tracking your bets. You want to track your closing line value, which has been discussed in other videos. If you're not aware what closing line value is, I highly recommend that you learn about closing line value. And because it's the most important indication of whether you're going to make money or not sports betting. It also lets you track your winnings and losses, right? Like after 500 bets, if you've lost money sports betting, something has to change. You should know after 500 bets or not your exact profit margin, your mathematical edge over the books, how much money you made, and be able to determine, if you're making money, then you should start betting more. If you're not making money, you shouldn't be betting as much, right? So here's another good one that's interesting, right? We see on FanDuel, Rockies, and again, constantly refresh this page because odds are always moving around. Sports is a financial market, right? You have to move quickly to get in on the good betting opportunities. We see Rockies minus 1.5 is plus 390 odds on FanDuel. It's an ARB to MGM. MGM is Dodgers plus 1.5 minus 385 odds. So it's an ARB to MGM, and it's 8.32% EV. Right, Pinnacle's only giving you plus 331. You're getting way better. You're getting plus 390 odds. So if we click on this game, we can actually just kind of see, where is it? Rockies minus 1.5. Plus 300 is all BetMGM is giving you. Plus 300 is what DraftKings is giving you. Plus 331 on Pinnacle. You're getting plus 390 on FanDuel. That's clearly some good value. It's a mathematically profitable bet. So what we can do is just go here. We can go to FanDuel. And again, I'm limited because I made a lot of money off them, but we can go to the Rockies game. Where are you? Here. And we can go to, you got to go down a bit. It's under alternate run lines. Again, knowing how to navigate these books quickly will make you a lot of money. And this is giving me 42.3 bucks. So I'll place it, 42.3 bucks. Okay. Thank you, 42.3 bucks. Rockies minus 1.5 plus 390. I always track my bets. I track them ruthlessly. I want to know if I made money or not every single night, because tracking your bets ruthlessly is the way you determine if you are a mathematically profitable sports bettor and if you are making money in the long run. You should be tracking your CLV, the OddsJam bet tracker. It's 100% free. You should be tracking your bets ruthlessly, and you should be tracking your profit and loss over the course of the long run. So anyways, the EV on this was 8.32%, so 0.0832. Our mathematical profit margin, we can bring that down. So we're at 106. I just made 352 in profit. We've talked about this in other videos, right? Like sports betting, it's not about making $1 million in a night. That's not going to happen. This isn't a get-rich-quick thing. It's about small bets. Even if you're limited, it's about racking up these small bets that take a minute to place of 352 in edge, right, in profit margin, and watching those returns compound and compound and compound. That's how you get rich in sports betting. You make 5 good bets a night. You make 10 good bets a night. You make even 2 good bets a night. If they're good enough, you are going to make a lot of money betting on sports. We're already at $106 in profit margin tonight, right? And again, this hasn't even taken that long. And the plays are always changing, so it's something you should check pretty constantly. So again, like FanDuel Unlimited, so if I tried to bet this again, they're going to tell me, oh, max wager, $0. Thanks, FanDuel. So you're not going to be able to bet that much on these. But what we can see is, Unibet hasn't even told me if it's taking this other wager or not. Oh, they did take it. Heck yeah. They took it. $500, Minnesota plus 14.5 they took. That's great. Okay. So we can add 500 here, which will increase my profit margin. And we're currently sitting at $129 of profit. So that feels pretty good, right? Hit the refresh button. We can see if any new plays came up. And this is essentially what you should be doing, right? You should be line shopping ruthlessly. You should be comparing odds at books. The two sharpest sports books in the world are Pinnacle and Bookmaker. You always need to be beating their odds. So let's go back a bit. Where was that one we just bet? So this minus 13, for example, it's a direct arb to Pinnacle. Pinnacle has Minnesota plus 14.5, minus 139 odds. The sharpest bookmaker in the world. We're getting minus 113 odds, right? That feels pretty incredible. In Bookmaker has it minus 126 odds, right? And again, we're getting minus 113. So there's clearly some value in Minnesota plus 14.5. Pretty great. So we can go down. Let's see if there's any more we want to do. Central Michigan, I bet this earlier actually. Central Michigan plus 15, but we can try to rebet it because, right, like it's a direct arb to Pinnacle. It's 5.47% EV. Pinnacle has this minus 153. There's clearly some value on the minus 120. And we see that, is Bookmaker on here? Yeah, Bookmaker, it stops at plus 13, minus 121. And we're getting like plus 15. It's just an incredible value bet. So we can go to Unibet and go to NCAAF, and when was that game? We can try searching it. Again, you want to be quick. So we have Central Michigan plus 14.5, minus 117. We can see how much money they give us. So I'll try placing the rest of my limited balance. So place 35.89 and send 414.11 for approval. So we'll do that. Let's see if they take it or not. And we can add it to the bet tracker. So Central Michigan plus 14.5. Go back here. Go to the plus EV page. Central Michigan plus 14.5. And that had 5.303% EV. So 0.0503. And extend this, and then we just need to see if they accept the rest of the wager, which is being referred. Again, when you're limited, a lot of these books, they want to take a look at every single wager you place to determine if they even want the action or not, which is, it can be pretty frustrating. So they took it though. So they gave me a total of $450 on that, so that feels pretty good. So we can put that in here, and that's $23 in EV. So we're currently sitting at $151, right? It takes money to make money in sports betting. You have to place bets, first of all. And second of all, you have to track your bets. You need to track your closing line value, and you need to track your profit and loss ruthlessly. So this Rockies minus 1.5, again, we liked it because it's a direct arb to MGM, which has Dodgers plus 1.5, minus 385, and huge value to Pinnacle. No book, even Pinnacle, was giving you plus 330. No other book was even giving you plus 300 odds on it, right? Here's another good one maybe we want to bet. Rangers minus 1.5. Again, the markets that are really tight, those ones people like more just because you have more confidence, right? Like here we can see this minus 125 on MGM, total outs of Dallas Kutcherler or whatever his name is a direct arb to Pinnacle, the sharpest bookmaker in the world. So there's clearly some, good value there if you want to bet it. So again, you can just kind of go through, look for good betting opportunities, ultimately place those bets and see your money kind of rack up. So here we now see a Dodgers hedge, if we do want to hedge the Dodgers, right, a little bit. So maybe we'll place this. They have Dodgers minus 3 runs is plus 175 odds on DraftKings. Pinnacle's only giving you plus 153, which means your expected profit margin to the midpoint of Pinnacle is 4.32%, right? So that feels pretty good, and it kind of helps us hedge out of our Rockies bet. So what we'll be hoping for is the Dodgers win big, or, the Rockies win by 2 or more runs. So we could place like $500 on that as a hedge if we wanted to. So maybe we do that. Dodgers -3 plus 175. And you can kind of go in and you can see what other books, what other odds they're giving you. So we know DraftKings is giving us plus 175. So there's clearly some value there, right? Fox Bet's only giving you plus 150. Pinnacle's only giving you plus 153. Sugar House plus 160. So like there's clearly some value on Dodgers -3 plus 175. So maybe we'll place a little bet on that. And this is ultimately how you bet on sports. These opportunities are always going to be changing. Odds are not static. They're always moving. You have to move quickly to get in on the best betting opportunities. And, you have to be willing to accept some risk. But again, the whole point of OddsJam is these sportsbooks have so many odds on their site. You need a way to see in a way like the OddsJam plus EV page, the best betting opportunities. And then you can go through and determine which ones you want to bet, which ones you feel comfortable betting. And we just show you the best possible odds, right? We show you the odds where you are getting substantially better value than Bookmaker and Pinnacle, the sharpest 2 sportsbooks in the world. So here's another example. We see tomorrow the Indians are plus 140 on DraftKings. Bookmaker only has them plus 125. So I kind of like that one too, right? We can see Bovada's giving you plus 135, maybe plus 140 doesn't feel as great. But you can kind of go through and, users just kind of sit on this. You hit the refresh button. You look for good plays that are ARBs to Pinnacle, ARBs to Bookmaker, where you're just getting such great value that you can't pass it up. You track your profit margin. You track your expected value profit margin and your wager size, and you kind of see, as time goes on, as you place more and more bets, you'll start to hit your total expected profit margin. So tonight, off the bets I placed, I'm expecting $151 in expected value, in expected profit. And that's really how you should be thinking about your sports betting. It's getting value odds to these sharp bookmakers, such as Pinnacle Sportsbook, such as Bookmaker Sportsbook, placing bets and knowing on any given night you may not win, you may not lose, but over the course of the long run, if you're generating positive closing line value, if you're tracking your bets, you're going to see your profit start to stack up. Here's another interesting one, right? Like the Steelers are plus 270 against the Bills. Pinnacle's only giving you plus 242. Maybe there's some value there. So, you could sit on the site all day and kind of rack up your expected value and your expected profit margin. But this is really what should be the home page for your sports betting. This is where you should be starting. You should never be placing a bet at worse odds than Pinnacle and Bookmaker Sportsbook. You never should be, because you're not going to be making money sports betting if you're betting, on odds worse than the 2 sharpest sportsbooks in the world are giving you, Pinnacle and Bookmaker. So you should be using the OddsJam plus EV page really to kind of just go through and sort for opportunities that you think are good betting spots. There will obviously be a ton for NFL, for college football, for everything like that. Track your bets ruthlessly, track your profit margin, and see your profit margin kind of start to stack up. So we placed a few plays. Maybe we'll place one more if we can find something interesting. And let's place this Dodgers one if it lets me in. Okay. Dodgers -3 plus 175. That was the play. So we can go here, alternate run line. Again, you're never going to be able to search through all this data just manually, right? If you have multiple sports books, you're line shopping ruthlessly, you're looking for good plays, all these odds are constantly moving around. Sports is a financial market. DraftKings, right, they're firing a bunch of algorithms, updating their lines at every second. It's just not going to happen. So we can go to Dodgers -3 plus 175. Let's see if it gives me $500 on it. Dun dun dun. I don't love betting the Dodgers, even though because I am a Dodgers fan, I'm a big Dodgers fan, but it is what it is. We'll place this bet, and they take it. So what was the EV on that one? This will be the last one we'll track. $500, 4.32%. $500, 4.32%. Dodgers -3, so we bet $500. 0.0432%, I believe was it. We can go back to OddsJam, make sure we got those numbers exactly correct. Yep, 4.32%. Okay, so we can see that's kind of how you bet mathematically. Look for tight markets, look for ARBs to Pinnacle and Bookmaker, the two sharpest sportsbooks in the world, on your sportsbooks. It doesn't matter if you're betting on US regulated sportsbooks like DraftKings, FanDuel, or offshore sportsbooks if you're in California and you're betting on Bovada, whatever it is, you should be getting value odds to Pinnacle, to Bookmaker, and that's how you really see your profit margin in sports betting start to stack up. Of course, on any given day, you may lose, but track your bets, track your closing line value, have multiple accounts so you can line shop and look for these discrepancies. And when you are betting discrepancies like the one seen here that have positive expected value, you have to win in the long run. It's just statistics. It's just the law of large numbers. You are going to win in the long run if you are placing bets like these ones. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This is kind of how I think about my sports betting. Again, I'm the co-founder of OddsJam, and this is how I always thought about my sports betting personally, and it's really fun. It's really fun to have money bet on sports, and it's even more fun when you're making money off it. So this is kind of how you find mathematically optimal bets and how you should be thinking about your sports betting. Hit the refresh page on the OddsJam plus EV page. Constantly be searching for opportunities. Track your bets, track your expected profit margin, and you'll notice that in the long run, you're going to see your profit margin really start, just like statistics, a coin, if you're flipping coins, maybe there can be two losses in a row, but over the course of the long run, that coin has to land 50% heads, 50% tails. It's the same thing here. You are going to reach your total expected profit margin if you are doing this consistently in sports betting. So that was this video. Again, you will eventually get limited by some accounts, as you can see with my FanDuel, but you can still find good plays like this plus 390 and, get some value, get some expected value, and still make some plays. It's just most likely your size isn't going to be as big as it was before. So again, that's a little bit of sports betting, a little bit of a sports betting intro. If you have questions, you can feel free to contact us, and I hope you enjoyed it.